Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Jordan Beck.
And I'm Alaytra Beck.
And together we are Around the World and Back. We post videos about our life here as Americans in the UK and our travel journeys throughout the UK as well as Europe. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about something we see from time to time in the comments about how there are two countries separated by a common language. Basically what that means is
that we all speak English, but not the same English.
So it was kind of a culture shock coming here about how some of the things were a little bit different. So after living here for about 3 years now, we wanted to kind of explain our take on the differences of the language.
So if you like that kind of content, go ahead, stop right now, hit that subscribe button down below and give us a like. We really appreciate it. Now, in today's video, I have gathered some words that I'm going to kind of guide us through, and Jordan doesn't know the list yet, so you can get his genuine reaction with it. But we're going to go through 3 different things. One is words that we just quit using here that are American words that we no longer say here in the UK. The next category is going to be words that no matter how hard we've tried to adapt to our vernacular, we just can't do it. UK words, that is. And then the last one is going to be UK words that we definitely have adapted. So, category 1 is the things that you just can no longer say here. So I've got my little list I'm gonna pull up. The first one is pants. Means something different in America than it does in the UK. For us, pants would be like jeans, joggers, sweatpants. Like, those are all pants. But do you know what it is in the UK?
It's undergarments or underwear. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So what do people in the UK call things you wear on your legs? What we would call pants.
Just trousers?
Yeah, trousers.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So like, you can't just go into a store and be like, oh, where are your pants at? Not that anybody would ask that question, but I think they would direct you to a different department if you were to ask something along that line. Next one is tennis shoes, which is an American thing, I believe. Like, nobody else calls it this.
Yeah, and it's a bit odd that we refer to at least that style of shoe as a tennis shoe because it's
I've never played tennis in my life.
Yeah, and it's not like the shoes that which you play tennis are different from that. At least,
yeah. Like for us, like I do call them tennis shoes, but that's just sneakers of any variety or like gym shoes.
Yeah.
Do you know what they call tennis shoes here?
Trainers, right?
Yeah, trainers. Look at you go. It's like you've been here for 3 years.
Wow.
All right, so next one is Fanny Packs. That is something that is become, I think, more and more popular lately. But for us, a fanny pack would be something that you like wear along your waist. It's like a little hip sack thing. Some people wear it across their body. I think it just depends on how old you are. Like, you know, old men would wear it around their hips, but not everybody else would wear it around their waist. So what would people in the UK call a fanny pack, Jordan?
You know, I'm not sure. What would they call it?
A bum bag. Do you know why they wouldn't call it a fanny pack? Do you know what a fanny is in the UK?
No, I don't.
No?
No, what would...
Okay, so a fanny pack, or fanny, to phrase lightly, I think that it would be like female genitalia is what what a fanny is here. So you wouldn't want to have a fanny pack.
And I like bum pack. I don't know. It just seems a bit.
No, bum bag.
Oh, bum bag. Sorry.
Yeah, I like the alliteration in it. Okay. Next one is restroom. That's not really, like, I feel in times that we've asked for a restroom, we kind of get like a strange look, but that's just what you call it in the States, is restroom or bathroom.
Yep. In a public standpoint, the whole restroom / bathroom doesn't necessarily make sense as you're not resting or bathing. You know, I could see the argument at a house being like, oh yes, the bathroom. And I think that's even what they call it in a house if you were to look for it. It's like one bed, one bath. Like, I mean, bathroom. So, but in a public standpoint, asking, oh, can I use your bathroom? It's like...
Right, but that's only I think that's only applicable if there's actually a bath in that room, because like we have a room downstairs There's no bathroom in it.
Well, they call it a half bath.
No, they don't. Not here. They call it a water closet.
All right.
And you knew that.
Well, okay. So I know they call it water closet. It's big WC that you'll see. But I didn't know that in a house like this that they would call it the water closet. So that's interesting.
Yeah. And then the other thing, what do they call bathrooms, toilets? Oh, I just gave you the answer.
Yes, toilet. Yeah, so toilet. And luckily, while being over here in Europe, the word toilet is pretty universal, or at least it looks, somewhat. You get the point across basically if you have to try and translate it.
Yeah, which I would say that one for me felt like one that was a little rude at first. To be like, "Where's your toilet at?" But it just feels really natural now. So that I would include that one also in the words we've adapted.
Yes, for sure.
Next one, Randy. What
So
if I said Randy in the
to-
States?
Are you referring to like the name Randy?
Yeah,
Or,
so
like,
in the States, that's the only thing I've ever heard it referred to as is a person.
okay.
Would be like a male's name. Do you know what Randy means in the UK?
No, I do not.
Okay, so to my understanding, Randy would be like wanting like sexy time. Like
Oh.
it's basically so that would be like a really strange thing. I mean, we don't really ever say the word Randy. I just think it's a fun little misdirect.
All right.
Words that you wouldn't want to, if you're named Randy and you move here, feel like you're gonna have a rough go of it.
Yeah, a couple smirks here and there.
There we go. All right, so last one in this category, one that I think has definitely changed over the last few years. The word Trump. So when I say that, what's the first thing that pops into your head?
The president.
Yeah, exactly. So first of all, we try not to say that regardless. In the States, if you're not referring to that individual, what would Trump mean?
I think of the phrase like, "Oh, I have my Trump card," which is like you have something that is your best or the ability to overcome.
It's like an override.
Yeah, an override.
Yeah.
That's a good word. Yeah.
What would Trump mean in the UK? Give me your best guess. Could mean anything.
How about a sentence? Would you be willing to give me a sentence?
So I read the definition of it, but I didn't get to hear anybody use it in a sentence. So I'm gonna say like, I don't know if you could like make it like a past tense thing. Like I'm gonna leave the room. I've got a Trump.
Oh, take to use the toilet. Yeah.
No, it means to fart.
Oh, all right.
Like in the States, I think we would say something like toot. Here,
All right.
Trump.
All right.
All right, so moving on to our next category is going to be words that exist within the UK that we know what they mean, we know how to use them, we cannot get them to adapt to our vernacular. And I jotted some down, but if you come up with any along the way, I want to hear what's floating through your brain. So for me, the first one deals with cars, and it is the boot and the bonnet. The boot would be the trunk of the car for us, and the bonnet would be the hood of the car. I know what they are. I can't get them in my. It's always going to be the trunk.
And what's funny too is when we first moved here, I would see signs around the place saying, "Oh, it's a boot sale," and I was like, "That's oddly specific advertisement for selling of footwear." But no, it's just like a garage sale in the States, but it's all in a lot where they would sell things out of their car.
This one doesn't come up for us a lot, but we do have several friends that have kiddos. A pacifier is called what here?
A dummy.
A dummy. I can't. Like, I know what it is, but it doesn't roll off the tongue for me. Like, oh, can you pass me the baby's dummy? It just feels rude.
Another one to add to that in kind of the baby category, when we were flying with family, we had checked their like baby stroller into the thing, and when you get off of the aircraft, you can ask the attendant so you can get it so you can push your child. And we had a hard time explaining because not only did we have a baby stroller, but we had a wheelchair, which is called a pram and a push chair.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh.
Because we don't really use either of those items very often either. So I think that for us, it's just like, what? And it's so funny because it's without an insight. If you were from the UK and somebody said like, oh, can I get a pram? Like, I think most Americans would be like, I don't have any idea what you're talking about. It doesn't sound like a word, but I guess you could say the same thing vice versa. Like, if somebody's like, oh, can I get a stroller? They're like, yeah, go ahead, go for a walk. Like, next one for me, I would say is cooker is a UK word. And then in the US, they call it an oven. It's just always going to be an oven for me. Cooker just, like, it's, what's you doing? It's a cooker.
I guess that one's kind of interchangeable too, but I don't see that one really being adopted.
Yeah, it's just like, it doesn't hit the same for me, you know?
Yeah. The one that I struggle with the most now that I think about it is garden versus yard.
Oh, that one's easy for me.
I know that you're supposed to call it, or at least it's called here, the garden. And when we were looking at houses and we were like, oh, can we see the backyard? And our realtor had a kick out of that saying the yard.
Yeah.
And so it kind of stuck with me that, we refer to that as a garden. I still get them changed so much. And I think that's because I think of a garden as like
a vegetable garden.
Yeah, or even like a rose bed or plant bed or whatever.
Not just like the whole space.
The whole space, yeah.
Okay, so the next one also kind of deals with house stuff and whatnot. Hoover.
For a vacuum.
For a vacuum.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like, so I work on base and we work very closely with British nationals, like in and out. And one of the ladies that works in the building will come by and she'll just do like basic housekeeping stuff. And she'll come in and ask if we want a Hoover in there. And every time I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good, thank you. Like, I can't remember what the heck it is. Yeah, it's always gonna be a vacuum to me. And like, that word makes no more sense than Hoover does. Hoover's a brand of vacuum.
But
so I think it's like the way that we'll call like tissues Kleenexes.
I was just about to say that, yeah. We refer to, tissues, Kleenex, yep, good one.
It's just being brand specific.
I think this one is a little bit better now, but I know when we first moved here, referring to the currency as pounds or quid or whatever the slang is. In the States, we refer to it as dollar or buck or...
I've never said buck in my life.
Oh, big bucks. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, people do it, I just don't do it.
Yeah, and then being like, oh, that's what we need to associate with the currency over here. So sometimes we'll be like, oh, it's only, $10. I'm like, I mean quid. I mean, like...
See, I'm the opposite on that one. And I'm like, if somebody asks me like, oh, how much did you pay for that? I'd be like, I don't know, like 25 quid. So Mr. Cotton, one of the guys we work with, if he hears me saying it, like, oh, how much did you pay for that? You're like, oh, like 20 quid. You're like, oh, look at you go using the words. And I'm like, yeah, that's just what you call it. Like,
I think, after you lived here for a little bit, you kind of adjust to that sort of thing.
For sure. This one gets me, I think you're better with it than I am, is crisps or chips and chips or fries. And I think there's something about like the triangular like way that those words work together that it messes with me. I'm so bad if like we filmed several crisps videos or sweets is the other one that I struggle with. We filmed snack videos, sweets videos, crisps videos, and every time, without a doubt, I will mess up and say the wrong thing during the filming of it. I know what it is, but just like crisps does not click in my head as a word that exists.
Yeah, and to go with the food category, we miss cookies and biscuits.
Yeah,
we miss those up too, and I don't think I think we'll always be like, that's a cookie.
We will always be inundated with comments saying, but you said cookie, and it's like, I know I did, but that's what it's called from where I'm from.
Yeah.
All right, I think I got 2 more for you, but if you come up with any more, let me know. So the next one is what we call an eraser, what they call it in the UK.
They would call it a rubber.
Yeah, which is what in the US?
A condom.
So like if somebody's like, so like work in an office scenario, right? If you make a mistake and you need to like pass me the rubber, it's like, it's just not gonna be a word I ever use in my daily life. I can't, it sounds too weird to me. And then the other one I was gonna bring up to you is flashlight versus torch.
Yeah, I don't like
I know you don't
either
like that
of
one.
them. I really don't like either of them because like flashlight, it's not flashing and it's not a torch.
You could flash it, click it on and off.
Well, yeah, but I mean if you're gonna have it on or you activate it on your phone, like you're not like, ooh, look at me. It's flashing, but it's also not a torch, like you're not holding around. And I know the old fashioned, that's how they used to call it, but like...
So what would you rename that device?
I don't know, like a light beam, but that's too many words. I don't know.
I like it.
I'm not a fan of either, but we just grew up with flashlights, so.
Yeah, so torch is just not gonna catch on for me.
Another one that can't really adapt to is trash. versus rubbish. I think just saying trash, I don't know, there's something about it that's kind of fun, and I think rubbish is just a bit too polite. I
feel like it feels too British when I'm saying it. Like, I feel like I'm posing or something.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's one of those words that, you feel like you're posing, so you just kind of let it be.
I think that folds us nicely into the next category, which is words that we have adopted that we do like, that I plan on keeping with me, or at least it's so ingrained in my day-to-day, vocab right now that it's just sticking with me. And the reason why I say it works well is because while I don't say rubbish, I do say bin instead of garbage can. It feels like so many words to just be like, toss it in the bin.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a perfect word. I love it.
And I think that kind of goes along with one as well that I thought of is like trash can. Instead of saying like that, like the one that you'd bring out for collection, they call it like a wheelie bin here. And I like that. It's kind of like cute and like, I don't know. It makes total sense. It is a bin you can wheel. Like,
yep. Yeah. I'm here for it. I love that. Another one on wheels is, in the US we call it a semi-truck, but here it's called a lorry. I like it.
I do. I don't know where, or like the breakdown of lorry, but like if you were to look at like semi-truck, a semi-truck is not a semi version of a truck. It is a huge vehicle with
they should call it a mega truck.
Yeah, like a mega. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. So I like lorry.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's probably, I don't know what the origins are, but I'm here for it.
I've adopted the word petrol, at least in my vocabulary, as opposed to gas. Sometimes it'll slip up, but I think petrol makes more sense. You're buying this for your car. You're not buying a gas for your car, which I think
it would. Like the hands.
Well, like that's the argument why people are like, well, you're not getting gas. You're getting, a liquid. Yeah. So petrol makes more sense, and that's also what people, petrol station and stuff. So. Yeah.
Sticking with the cars, I would say car park versus parking lot.
Yes.
Yeah, I think parking lot, I don't know, like it's fine, but I like car park.
Yeah.
It's just like a fun little, for car park.
And also sticking with car is indicator instead of blinker.
Yeah, I like indicator instead of blinker, but I don't like saying like, oh, I forgot to indicate.
Yeah.
That just sounds a little chunky in my head.
I think turn signal is better than blinker.
Right, but then you would use that to indicate.
Yes, but I think indicator,
I want to mix the words together. Yeah. A little concoction of whatever makes sense to me. It just kind of flows out. And this one feels super relevant to us because we do a lot of trips, is a holiday versus vacation. I like it. It was a little confusing at first because people would be like, oh, where'd you go on holiday? And I'm like, it is August. What holiday are you talking about? But yeah, it's just like a getaway. I like it.
Yeah, just using, going on holiday or whatever is a lot easier, or at least I catch myself saying that more than saying, oh yeah, going on vacation. Or, I write emails to different people about, hey, do you guys want to go on holiday? Or, can I help set up any of your bookings or whatever? And so, I wonder how that sounds to other people, like, we're not going on holiday, it's a vacation.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Another one that I personally like is lift versus elevator. I think I like the ones that are just like, we shortened it down a little bit, like, it's a nice, think of it as like a round word, like, oh, it's the lift, versus like elevator.
Yeah. I think it's a good one.
I've only got a couple more for you, so if you've got any, feel free. But postcode versus zip code. I think they are legitimate. Like, they serve similar purposes, but they are a little bit different because in the States, I don't think zip codes at all have any type of letters in them, but postcodes do. And I don't know, I think postcode just rolls off the tongue for me a little bit. Like, you get your post, it's a postcode. I don't know what the heck zip, I'm sure zip stands for something, but.
Yeah, and I think zip code is a lot more broad in the general area, whereas postcode, at least if you were to type in like our postcode, it narrows it down
to like your streets.
Well.
Yeah.
And I really like that, especially when you fill out online forms all the time.
I just don't know what zip has to do with mail. I'm sure there's an answer. I should probably know this. Half the people in my family work for the United States Postal Service, so like I should know the answer to this one. The last one I have for you, and anybody that has any length of time talking with me about living in the UK will know, and I feel very strongly about this. Cheers is a perfect word. I love it so much. It's like a British version of aloha. It's like, cheers can mean thank you, it can mean goodbye, it can mean hello, like just cheers. Cheers. Cheers.
You do use it a lot. I notice in the phone calls when you hang up, or somebody hands you something, say thank you, you say cheers.
Yep, I sign emails that way sometimes.
It's so common. Like, you'll be in a different country and you'll say it, and they may not even understand what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
It's all the time. I don't use that as much, but I can see why you like it.
Yeah,
it's easy and
just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
I love it. Do you have any other last minute things that you want to sprinkle in?
None that I can think of.
Overall, I think it's been a lot of fun living here. And I think it really is true that we are two countries separated by a common language. And there are about a million other words that are different between the US and the UK that we didn't even bring up. These are just the ones that are pertinent. I think we've discovered that the ones that we like more are the ones that are more relevant in our lives. Like, how often are we saying candy floss? Literally never. I'm never talking about cotton candy. So, like, to me, that's not one that's relevant, but like holiday.
That's true.
Vital to us.
We talked about a lot of things and the two different languages and what we like about living here. So if you've ever been to the US or the kind of stuff that you see, what is your favorite word from the US that you use? We'd like to know.
Ooh, that would be really interesting.
That'd be really cool. So go ahead down below into that comment box and let us know what you think.
Yeah, and while you're down there, don't forget to subscribe. We really appreciate it.
So that's going to conclude the video for this week, and we will see you next time.
Cheers!